Hello, everybody. This is Tanner Spohr, and today I stand here before you, humbled by the democratic foundation that our great nation was once is built upon. As citizens, we are the collective responsibility to ensure that our democracy thrives and evolves and remains a beacon of hope and progress for generations to come. Our democratic system is designed to reflect the will of the people through elected representatives, most notably through Congress. Yet, it is incumbent upon us to scrutinize and improve our system continually. Today, we focus our attention on critical reform term limits in Congress. This reform holds the promise transforming our political landscape, fostering a more dynamic, accountable, and effective democracy. Throughout this discourse, we will dive into historical context and examine the challenges possessed by long serving politicians, explore potential benefits of term limits, address common concerns, and underline the public support for the essential reform. In doing so, I hope to inspire dialogue, engagement, and action, recognizing that term limits stand as a cornerstone for reinvigorating a democratic process, for fortifying the power of the people. Let us begin by diving into the historical background in the United States Congress. Throughout American history, term limits have been conspicuously absent. While the framers of the Constitution envisioned a system of citizen legislators, the idea of term limits was not formally integrated. Over the years, this absence has been debated and scrutinized. Today, the U.S. remains one of the very few democratic nations, without term limits for its federal legislators. This absence of term limits can be attributed to the framers' vision of citizen labor model, where the individuals would serve for a short term and return back to their private lives, preventing the entrenchment of power and encouraging a continual flow of fresh ideas and perspectives. The absence of term limits has given rise to a lot of challenges, primarily revolving around politicians. These long serving individuals tend to accumulate significant power over time, which can lead to complacency, stagnation, and disconnect from the concerns of their constituents. Studies have shown that prolonged incumbency and breed inefficiency reduce the incentive for bipartisanship. They diminish the ability to address critical issues effectively. The longer politicians remain in office, the more they become entrenched in the system, potentially prioritizing their own interests over over the needs of the people. Career politicians often become deeply ingrained with the political system, forming close-knit networks and often being influenced by special interest groups due to their need to campaign funding for their numerous re-elections. This can create a cycle of dependence and hinder objective decision making. Excuse me. Now let's shift our focus to the potential benefits of implementing term limits in Congress. One of the primary advantages is the infusion of fresh perspectives and ideas into the legislative process. Term limits would ensure a continual flow of diverse voices and experiences, preventing the consolidation of power, flow, and diverse voices and innovation in policymaking. Additionally, term limits would help mitigate partisan gridlock by reducing the entrenchment of political ideologies and encouraging responsive government that can swiftly address the evolving needs and challenges for society. By fostering a more dynamic and diverse Congress, term limits can better represent the evolving demographics and societal changes that occur over time, resulting in legislation that is more effective for the people's current needs and values. As I advocate for term limits, we must also address common concerns and opposition to this reform. Some argue that experience is crucial for effective governance. However, term limits can be designed to strike a balance, allowing sufficient time for effective service while preventing entrenchment and complacency. Critics also express concerns about potential loss of expertise, but term limits can encourage lawmakers to make the most of their time while they're in office, focusing on critical issues and developing expertise efficiently. Furthermore, by instituting term limits, we're incentivizing lawmakers to focus on achieving meaningful change during their tenure, promoting a more results-oriented approach to governance rather than being preoccupied with re-election concerns. Public opinion plays a crucial role in shaping our democratic landscape. Surveys and polls consistently demonstrate that the majority of the American people are in favor and support the idea of term limits in Congress. It's evident that this reform aligns with the desires of the people who seek a more accountable and more responsive government. This widespread support strengthens the United States and strengthens the argument for term limits as a means to improve for democratic processes and ensure that the voices of the people are truly represented. The public support for term limits emphasizes the need to prioritize this reform and work more towards a system that ensures a fair and equitable representation of all citizens. So, in conclusion, the need for term limits in Congress is a pressing matter that demands our attention and action. By understanding the historical context, acknowledging the problems posed by career politicians, appreciating the benefits of term limits, addressing concerns, and recognizing public support, we can collectively advocate for this reform. Term limits hold the promise of revitalizing our democracy, injecting new energy, new ideas, and accountability into our political systems. As citizens, it's our duty to champion these, because standing united for a stronger, more effective democracy that truly works for the benefit of all. And as Donald Trump once said, it's time to drain the swamp. Thank you, everybody, for listening.